Everybody. So while they're still putting it together, because they've got some exciting stuff for you, I wanted you to know that we are live here at Agency Intelligence Facebook Live. We've probably got around 750 million people watching us right now, but that's okay. Europe will be on soon. All right. So, hey, welcome everybody out there. I am here with the guys that you know because they help our customers at the moments when they're needed the most, which is usually on monthly, quarterly, semi, or annual pay. And here we are with Mr. Todd Sorrell and Mr. Seth Nagel. How are you gentlemen doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, doing well. Getting ready for Turkey Day, my friend.
That's right. We were supposed to do this last Friday. There's people out across America who have been sending in messages to me. They sent out some stuff on CNN. They were pissed off. We weren't able to go live last Friday. I want to apologize to the nation. It was we were trying to do it, and we kind of found out it wasn't our fault now. It was actually the SaaS service that we're using now, but we are here. We are here for you, and we had to kind of make room for all you out there in the world watching. So let me ask you this, guys. How awesome is it to be ePayPolicy?
Yeah, that's a good one.
How awesome is it for us to be ePayPolicy?
Yeah, why do I say that? Why do I say that? Because no matter what product's out there, you can find somebody who likes it, and you can find somebody who doesn't like it. Besides your competitors, who doesn't like ePayPolicy? I mean, you know what I mean? Who doesn't like it?
I'm telling you.
It just works. It's simple. And my clients need it. It helps me collect money. I mean, hello. I mean, I just think it's a great thing. So I say that just to start off being funny, but being sincere. I thought to that to myself today. I'm thinking, you know what? They're like a solution that like no one really has a bones with, right? So one of the things I want to hit on, and we've got some, and I'm going to tell you, if you're watching live, they've got some stats and some statistics as to the way agencies are planning for the future. That's pretty awesome. Okay. And so I want to do that, but here's where I want to get first. This is a question that I'm asking companies like yours. I asked this to Tarmica. Okay. When Rags and I were talking, I said, Rags, and it's the same thing to you. Agents have been knowing that we needed electronic payments. Agents have been knowing that we needed small business rating, right? And we have just like been drudging through this industry, just like, ugh. And then all of a sudden, ePayPolicy comes out. It's like, yeah, hey, we'll create you a little landing page, and person will just put in their information, and we'll just charge them the bill, and boom, 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 and you're like, oh wow, that's really cool. That's actually so cool. There's no way it's that simple. And then it's like, oh yeah, hey, we now integrate with AMS systems and all this. And I'm sitting around looking around, going, Jesus, was this easy to do? Because you guys just came in and just started making stuff work. There's so many different things in our industry that we went without for so long, and you're like one of them. Do you have any answers or any thoughts to any of that? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I just think about mobile banking. Like, no one told us to just go do it. But I think we were out there. We said, you know what, this mobile thing is out there, and I keep hearing about it. Let me just go try it, see what that's like. Mm-hmm. And you never looked back. Once you tasted that, you're like, if it's Frank the Tank, it touched my lips. Oh my gosh, I'm never going back. It's beautiful. And I think the expectation that Amazon raised in the marketplace today, and the way we shop and the way we, analyze products and price compare and features and benefits compare and all of that, it's like, hey, stuff's in my cart. I want to check out. I'm on mobile. Let's go. I mean, there's no windows popping up saying mail me a check anymore. No. It's like, hey, store your payment method. Let's go. Let's get you out of here. We'll start shipping your goods to you. And I think with that mentality, I think agencies were all thinking like, well, yeah, this is coming, but like, who's asking for it? And I think all of a sudden now it's like out there and people are going to ask for it.
It's not who is asking for it, but also there was no one to create it. And I'm going to be honest with you. You guys didn't create Tesla. It's not like this is Tesla. I mean, a lot of the systems were there. You just had to put them together and make them work and create the partnerships to make it happen, right? You just had to put in a little legwork.
I think that's it, right? The partnerships and the technology and the way that APIs are opening up now, you can tap into all these great management systems, and people, they're putting the agent first, they're putting the client first, and you're seeing this across other industries, and now the insurance is right behind that. And now it's just a surplus of technology coming into the space. And so building out these great partnerships with like the Varunas, the Vertafors, the Applies, and really understanding where they're heading, and then being able to kind of complement their systems. And to that point, it's just building up that good strategy and understanding and asking the right questions. And I don't think a lot of tech companies don't listen. They kind of just beat their own drum and run down a hallway, versus if you kind of listen to where the industry is heading, what people's needs are, you can build some great products and features that don't take a lot of time to really develop, but more so just thinking outside the box and working on and delivering a simple solution. It's beautiful.
And you guys are doing a great job of it. You really, truly are. It was funny. You guys are at BrainShare, and the sponsors always ask, occasionally, like, "Hey, who uses our product?" And half, three-quarters, I think it was like everybody in the freaking room is using it.
I turned to Todd. I was like, "It's a client nurturing event right now. Let's just go around and buy everyone drinks." This point.
I mean, right? It really, truly
Drop
is.
the disco ball. Let's have fun. Let's go.
You know what, though? You may not have found someone directly you could sell there, but you've created relationships, and people get to know Todd and get to know Seth beyond just the ePayPolicy, and they get to know who you are, and it helps them understand where your motive is and where it came from for creating such a great product. You're interested in helping agents. Todd, you have something that I want you to talk about. This is kind of interesting. You have some stuff out there wherever you got it, some numbers, some stats from some InsurTech thing. Tell us what you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we just a few data points I just want to touch on, and certainly love to get your take on it. Seth, jump in here too.
Yep.
Seth really ran point at ePayPolicy, running our third annual InsurTech Award. The InsurTech Award really just encompasses the leveraging and implementation and adoption from an agency to use technology to grow their agency, as far as revenue, client acquisition, and so forth. And so we go out there with an application, 25 questions, just kind of understanding who they are, what kind of agency do they have, what's their mix in business, is it commercial, is it personal, spend their money, like what's the budget, what do they focus on. So some really, really cool, interesting nuggets kind of came out of that. One of the things we saw was 72% of the agencies said that their budget for technology solutions had increased. And that's pretty cool. Marketing automation was the number one problem companies wanted to address in the increase of that budget technology spend, which we thought was really cool. So when you think about marketing automation, you're thinking about, MailChimp and HubSpot and things like that. But it's on their radar. So the agencies are totally thinking about this kind of thing.
Wow.
One thing we learned too is the most offered service out there from agencies today is the e-signature. We're hoping that we're closely right behind them with electronic payments. But that was one of the things that really kind of stuck out to us too. One of those, only 35% of our agencies that applied had FAQ sections on their website. And I don't know about you, man. I kind of use these quite all the time. If I'm looking stuff up and kind of seeing what people are asking about products or services, or if you're looking at a destination for a vacation or a getaway with the missus, you're looking at a place. What are people saying about it? What's the FAQs? 35% have that on their site. So anyway, Seth, anything else stick out to you?
And I would just add to that, we're seeing more of a push going towards digital. People are really understanding that their website needs to be mobile responsive so that they can be accessed anywhere. And then there's even a big push right now around text messaging and that communication. Facebook is still the leader in social media when it comes to agencies kind of trying to grow that strategy. One of the things, though, is they really haven't got into the spending and the paid advertising yet. They're really relying on organic. Facebook is kind of their main push. And then around the marketing automation, getting more involved with the emails, setting like auto responses and really getting drip campaigns automated. That's where they're heading and that's where they're walking towards. But there's still a little bit of a ways to go. But with HubSpot and a bunch of these new kind of systems on the marketplace to really help automate that, I think we'll see a bigger adoption rate because it is getting easier. It's getting more simple to set up these campaigns, and then you're seeing interfaces that simplify the process. And then you also have tools like we use Trello and Slack internally to kind of help with communication. But then with that, there's also integrations being set up so that we can communicate. And so this whole new world is opening up as people are now going this remote workforce. And it's driving all this innovation right now around the way that we're doing business today isn't how we were doing it 6 months ago, and it's not going to be how we're doing it another 3 months from now. It's going to be fascinating to see how this all kind of unravels as well. But yeah, this report was put together. It took it lasted over about the full summer. And yeah, to Todd's point, we had about 165 people apply, share their insights all about this. And so is there anything from operations to marketing to sales? Some really great nuggets.
You guys got some great feedback and data, didn't you?
Oh, it was awesome. It was really good.
I bet you did. Let me ask you this real quick. Going back, I want to stay at that data, but something you said, and I have a bad memory. Anybody who works with me knows this. FAQ. What does FAQ stand for?
That's a great question.
Frequently asked questions. There is a mindset that changes that. Agents shouldn't have frequently asked questions. It should be frequently answered questions. When an agent is being proactive, when a business owner is being proactive, they should be answering the questions that they know the consumer is already asking by answering them. So we can wait and say, oh yeah, these are the questions. Agents do that. We teach that to agents that, hey, take the 10 questions that you get asked the most, create some content for that. Right?
Yep.
Well, how can we also, that's a reactive thing. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. But I'm just saying it's reactive. The proactive is to say, what are some of the answers they don't know that they need to know? Right? Where is some of that? They all will say, hey, do you have vicious dogs? Do you write vicious dogs? Right? And maybe that's an FAQ that, yeah, hey, we get a questioned a lot. The thing should be, here's what a vicious dog is considered. And here are the companies that do look at writing that. And that may even be a company that you don't represent, See, it's a different way of seeing it. It's reactively saying, what are they asking versus proactively saying, let me get what they ask, our answer. Now, I'm telling you right now, that's not my idea. That was something that I heard Ryan Hanley say back in 2013, 2014. And every time I see FAQs, I do it. Now, here's what I want you to do. Anybody who's watching this, and including you too, when you start going and reading FAQs from now on, listen to the way they're asking it. Are they answering the question, or are they answering the question because other people are asking the question? I know that gets geeky. I know that's probably a lot of wine for Cass to think that, but I do. And I look at that stuff because it tells me if they're a proactive or reactive organization. And sometimes you just can't tell. But I like to look at those little bitty things. I'm a geek like that.
No, I love that idea. And then a good way to do that is put yourself in that situation and walk yourself through it. And almost say, like, if I was asking myself, it's like when you show up to a hotel and you check in or whatever, and they bring you, like, especially on vacation, you get you like a mimosa set up. They give you like a nice towel. Someone walks you to the door. It's things that you're not expecting, but just walks you through the whole process. It's a great experience.
You just gave a great example, Seth. Okay. So when you get that, when you sit there at that hotel, what do? They give you the keys. They tell you which way to walk. They tell you what elevator it is. They're not waiting for me to get down the hallway and go, well, shit, where's the FAQ that tells me where, they are answering that question rather than waiting for you to ask that question. That's hospitality at its greatest. That was pretty cool. I never really kind of put all that together. Hey, little Seth, little Todd, little Cash, you get a little something,
That's how it happens.
Just Todd, stay on mute because it's real nice. We just don't really.
I've got a house full of crumb grabbers, man. It can get loud around here. So
I kind of heard them a little bit in the background, but they're not loud. I promise. What were you saying? Something?
No, I like what you're going with that. Like, it should be called, pre-asked questions.
Right.
Before you even get down the road, I know what you're going to say. I've studied my clients. I understand where they're going and their thought process. And so, yeah, like you say, get out in front of them. Be proactive with that.
When people have to ask questions, sometimes it makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So if you just answer the question, then you're not making the person feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. It goes back to just knowing your customers. It goes back to just really, and there's some vulnerability there. Mm-hmm. By asking your customers really good questions about, how am I doing for you? How am I serving you? What can we do better? What's not working for you? What's working really well? And really being open that way, man, it's certainly going to make you better. It's going to make you stronger. But you got to take that feedback and turn it into something.
Correct.
100%.
So where are you guys going with ePayPolicy? What do you see ePayPolicy evolving into? I mean, you guys, I mean, to us, it's just payments, right? And we're thinking like, what else could you do besides that? But you guys live in this world.
Yeah, fantastic question, because ePayPolicy, the genesis of what we were doing was like, hey, my dad's an insurance agent, independent. He's been doing it for 40 years. And
I didn't know that.
Today. So I've never left the industry for whatever reason. It's my Hotel California. I'm not getting out. But I'm here to stay and I love it. And so when we started off, it was like, hey, how can I just A to B, take a payment from an insured to an agency, period, end of story, make sure everybody gets an e-receipt. The agency has a dashboard they can track and reconcile it. The accounting team is happy. Everybody goes on, transactions made, speed up receivables, bind business faster. It's done. And that's the goal. But today we've evolved into a platform where it's like, okay, now the agency can pay Burns and Wilcox or RT Specialty. Now they can set up recurring payments for their customers with program business so that the customer can store a payment method so it can come up every month. They can make that payment automatically. Mm-hmm. We've gone to MGAs and helped them with automated invoice notifications. So they can automatically send out notifications via email with our payment links on there to their agencies when those account currents or those monthly statements do come out, right? And so we're going deep with these questions with our customers on multi-levels, like premium finance. We have lots of premium finance companies with the AFCOs and Bank Directs of the world. And we love those guys because they give us really great feedback, and they're in the weeds every day because they're taking monthly installments, every day from all different types of customers from all over the country. And so what is it like to really have that many touches with a customer, and what can we learn from that to make ourselves even better and smoother? Because there is new technology coming down the road that will replace what we're doing today and how we're doing it today. And by listening to our customers, we can get out in front of that, either build it or we can buy it. But we really need to understand that. And so for us, it's really just turning into this platform of understanding insurance across the board, whether it be a carrier, MGA, premium finance company, or retail side, the agency like yourself, Jason, and just understanding how is your business changing today and what can we do to kind of, run parallel with you.
So how does this work exactly then when you're talking about paying the MGA? So we have an agency bill. I have a client and they have two different carriers. And that's agency bill. I go and I say, hey, I need this down payment. And then I'm going to hook them up with a premium finance company for 9 installments. But I need that down payment. That down payment, then I can use ePayPolicy to accept that down payment, put it into my trust fund, and then can you pull it out of my trust fund to now pay the finance company or to pay the brokers. How are you guys helping in that process?
Yeah, we're kind of sitting in the middle, like in the middle of that hub of all those things, whether it's money being routed to the right trust account, information being routed to you and your team so you can see all of those coming in and who it's coming from, because they have to reconcile that. There's an old saying like, if your wife's happy wife, happy life. Well, I think in business, if happy accounting team is happy business team. And I'm telling you, it's true, because they have to be able to track and reconcile this kind of business. And so for us, it really is just saying, hey, Mr. H, I know you got to pay RT Specialty because you collected that down payment. Go to their website, hit their Pay Now button, and you can pay them. Or within your dashboard, the accounting team can hit a drop down box, choose RT Specialty. I'm trying to yell over the kids here.
You're doing fine. They're not that bad. They're not bad. You're doing fine.
Within the dashboard, your accounting team could choose Burns, Wilcox, RT Specialty, put the amount, hit send, and for 50 cents, that those funds are out the door.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I did not exactly know that, because if we're not using you in that way, we don't exactly know how the other agents are really using you now. So that's interesting.
Exactly. And so it really is turning into this whole payment network where people can send funds. And to Todd's point, we're working with the wholesalers, working with agencies, working with premium finance company. And so we're trying to make it as easy as possible to send those funds, so you really don't have to depend on a paper check going forward. It just makes it simple.
Dude, yeah, that is really, really awesome. I didn't know that you guys were doing that way. So and you use this term payment network. I think I've heard you say that now a couple of times, and I don't think that really resonates totally with me and other people the way it's going to in the future. I think there is there. If I'm saying this correctly, there's a lot of people who are collecting payments in this industry, and they're all basically saying there's got to be a better and simpler and easier way for us to get together to make all this stuff happen. Is that what I'm saying? Is that what I'm hearing when I hear a payment network?
100%, right? And think about like this is when you talk about payments and funds, and think about your own experience when you go to check out on something. And now we're all, to Todd's point earlier, used to Amazon, that checkout experience. There's so much wasted time dealing with funds, either getting proper approval, getting the right bank account information set up. So if you're using different entities to send those funds, it's just wasted energy. Versus now what we're really trying to do is within 3 or 4 clicks of a button, you're sending those funds, you're back to being an agent. You're out of the collection business, you're out of trying to managing everything. It's all contained and it's protected. You don't have to worry about outside sources or giving validation to different entities. Now it's all within ePayPolicy. And we allow for people to sign up for free to even to receive funds. So as Todd was mentioning, you can actually send funds, but an MGA can send funds back to an agency. And we have a free account that allows them to do that too. So they don't even have to wait on paper checks to receive commission checks. It can actually get sent right downstream and they can sign up for free. So we really are, when we talk about payment network, it's bringing it both ways, forward and backwards, up, down, any way you're going.
Because sometimes, like, if you like have to make a payment, let's say my staff forgot to send off the 25% or whatever, and we'll get the oh man, I totally lost my train of thought. I was going to make fun of the industry. It was a funny one too. It's one of those funny things that happens that you're like, what the heck is it?
It's not hard to do in this industry.
No, it's not. It's not hard to do. Oh yeah, they'll be like, they'll say, hey, we need to get this payment within the next like a week. And I'll be like, okay, yeah. So something happened, whatever. And they'll send you wiring instructions.
Yes.
I don't even know what to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, what would I do with that? Dude, can I put that in Google? You know, I mean, being funny, I know I got to go to my bank, but like, even when I go to my banker, Joe, I'm like, Joe, I don't know what to do with this. They say this is the only way I can send them funds. What is this? You know what I mean?
And the worst part with all that too is usually it's someone that's higher up that needs to do the approval, and it's the most manual work. It's and like you would love to give it to your intern or someone that can just, hey, go, you know, but you don't want to give them like, here's a $20,000 instructions of checks to go deposit in an account. Good luck. Like, it's just backwards thinking a little bit.
It really is. I like what you guys are going though. I like this payment network you're thinking. It's more of, you're saying we solved an issue and we want to continue to solve issues for the agents. Now, how do we solve it for the industry? Right? How do we this is ridiculous, guys. All it is money, and we need it. We all need a more efficient way to actually accept it and do it. So any last other things that you guys have? I mean, we just really appreciate you guys coming on. I want to give you exposure. The reason we do this is not only are you a proud sponsor and partner of AI, but we're going to do this again in a couple months. And the reason is you guys aren't out there, right? Like, let's make no bones about it.
We miss seeing our insurance family. I mean, we do on average 75, 78 trade shows a year and conferences as a team, as a company, because insurance is all our focus. We don't process payments for hospitality or bars and restaurants or, you know, hospitals. This is our focus here. And so we love it so much. We go deep with it. We have 34 big I state endorsements that are exclusive from certain states. And we love those guys. We like to be involved with. We want to know their members. We want to know what they're rolling out. Can we help with CE? So we offer CE credits now in California and Texas coming up soon. So, you know, we're getting involved. We want to know our customers. We want to know how we can keep them safe when they do electronic payments and what the right way is to do that. And at the same time, they get their money faster. Their bottom line looks better. Their team is healthier. And we just love this space, man. It really have an affinity for it. And we're going to be here for a long time.
Well, and it makes sense, Todd. I didn't know you had a background in insurance, or well, not a background, but had a family history there. So that just makes sense. You understand how great this industry is. I was talking with an agent the other day, and he was 29, 30 years old. And he said that his father was in insurance, and he went to the University of, he went to Kansas University, and University of Kansas. I just, you know, it's just tough. I always think UK, University of Kentucky, the real best team. All right. Sorry, Jayhawk fans. I'm just joking. Anyway, he went to that university in Kansas, and he was telling me something. He said, when I came back, I knew that I wanted to do a couple things, never wanted to do insurance. He says, but after I graduated, I really started thinking about, why do I want to do those other things? And he says, it wasn't so much that I didn't want to do them. He said, I just remember my dad always taking us on good vacations. vacations. I remember my dad was always home at dinner. I remember we always had functions that we would go to that were really fun. We seemed like we had a good life. And I've looked at and I've been mentored by some of these other jobs and professions I want to do. And I've realized, like, I don't want their life. They're missing their kids' baseball games. They're only home for dinner 3 or 4 times, a month. And it was really, really powerful. And so it goes back to, as you know, Todd, having that appreciation for this industry. Seth, do you have any prior background insurance?
Nope. This is my first insurance vertical I got into.
That's okay. We won't hold it against you. So it's I'm joking.
Hey, I stuck around.
And you've done a very good job, and you fell in love with it, right? And it's I didn't have an insurance background when I first got into it. I didn't know anybody in insurance, but when I got into it, I just fell heavily in love with it. And the opportunity it's given me, the opportunity it's going to give my family. One of these days, someone's going to buy this agency, and it's going to give them huge opportunity. I mean, what other industry gives you that? Come on. Right?
Yeah. It's a good vibes all around. I've met, to Todd's point, 75 trade shows. We've been all over the country. We've met some amazing agents. And the industry is just constantly growing. It's asking the right questions, and it's moving in a great direction. And it's almost one of the best kept secrets, I think. When I was going to college 10 years ago, I didn't know anything about insurance. And I just thought, honestly, it was a lizard. And now being thrown into this mix in this world and connecting and being going to these different shows, you learn so much to it. And the best part about it is there's all these little niches. So you can take something that you're passionate about and your expertise in and get involved in the insurance side of it, of classic cars or extreme sports or any of that kind of stuff, and really get that niche set up. And so you're able to practice your passion. And that's the goal at the end of the day, right?
It really truly is. And a really weird thing, just really weird, is I relate and I hang out with insurance agents way more than I hang out with anybody in my real life, which is my real life, right? Like I'm talking in my hometown or like Seth, I probably talk to you more than I literally talk to my best friend. He lives in Oregon, right? And I see him once or twice a year. And of course we throw the casual chat together, like text. Yep. That's what you and I do. And we're not best friends. You know what I mean? You start looking at your news feed and you start realizing, like, holy cow, everybody in my news feed is insurance people. You know what I mean? If you truly are the closest people, 5 closest people hang around with, we're hanging around nothing but insurance people. We really truly are. We just have this medium. Christopher Cook, Ryan Hanley, David Carruthers. I have like hours and hours of long conversation with them a week, right?
We need therapy. We really do.
We really, truly do. And maybe that's why we need each other. Todd, you just said it. You just said it. We ensure each other's happiness. Ha! Anyways, all right. For all of you out there watching, thank you very much for your time. I want to thank you, Todd. Thank you very much. Everybody needs to enjoy their happy Turkey Day. That is going to be coming up here in 2 days. We're recording this on Tuesday. Actually, it's live, so everybody knows that. But I really do greatly appreciate you guys being a part of it. We're going to be having some fun. Can you imagine, though, how much fun our first few conferences are when we get back together?
Oh my gosh, can't wait. You're right. That's a great one. That's a great point, man.
We have a good time, and we're happy to see each other when we just saw each other 2 months ago, right? You know what I mean? Right. And now it's going to be like, it's going to be wild. And that's why last weekend in September, first weekend in October is where the RFPs are out, but that's when BrainShare will be happening. And so I'm really excited. You guys are going to be there. I'm trying to put it in Puerto Rico. It's all about the vaccine for me. If the vaccine comes out, if most of the people in America don't get the vaccine until this midsummer, maybe later summer, I'm going to keep it in the United States, mainland. If they get the vaccine earlier in the year, I think people will start to feel more comfortable and they'd be willing to get on a plane to leave Florida or wherever to go over to Puerto Rico. Yeah. I know that's a weird thing, but from doing the feedback we get, the more you can keep it local, it makes people feel more comfortable. So it's all about the vaccine. And whether you get the vaccine or not doesn't matter. I think America 12 months from right now will be starting to be back to more what we recognize it. What say you?
I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, I think science leads the way out of this for folks, and certainly believe that there's a way out, and there's life has to go on. Business has to continue and serving our customers and taking care of others and our neighbors, and getting life to what we knew before is important to all of us. We've all realized that after kind of hunkering down for a while. And so, but I agree. I think this vaccine has to come out, and I think there's probably a couple versions of it, and we'll have to let that kind of hit the distribution channels first before I think we hop on flights.
Absolutely. I do too. I do as well. So, hey, thank you very much. Thanks for doing what you do in the industry. Guys, keep in mind, why do we love ePayPolicy? Because they help us get money. I mean, hello, what else would you want somebody of you to do? You remember those AMS systems that you do, we pay them money, right? We love them. You need them, them phone systems, we pay them money, right? ePayPolicy, they give us money. We really like ePayPolicy. We like Todd. We like Seth. Thank you for everything you guys do. Thanks for being involved in the community. Seth's got some exciting marketing materials that he's working on also for ePayPolicy. So for all you guys that may know about that, I haven't said anything, Seth. See, I can keep my mouth shut when I have to. And because it's been a while. You told me a long time ago. I'm about ready to explode with what you got going on, but I'm not going to. Just appreciate everything you guys do.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kat. Appreciate it.
This has been Agency Intelligence Live, where I didn't give you real agents. I didn't give you to you in a real agency, and I didn't give you anything, but I did give you the real agency intelligence and how to do it inside your agency. This has been Todd. This has been Seth. This has been Jason, and ePayPolicy, Agency Intelligence, Partners Forever.